Okay, the Switch is coming up. It's coming out in about a month. So I just wanted to do a quick farewell for the Wii U. The last game coming to this console is, at least the last first party game is Zelda Breath of the Wild, but that's also coming to Switch. Um, my game collection, I'm just going to go through real quickly. It's uh, it's a pretty solid lineup, I think. I tended to keep the games around that I really enjoyed and get rid of the ones that I didn't. With the exception of Rodea the Sky Soldier, didn't enjoy that game. It seemed to be mostly a port from the Wii era, a lot of motion controls. Didn't really enjoy it. But I'll zing through these pretty quick. A lot of these are hardcore titles. At least I feel they are because uh, that's the type of game I like to play, and I wanted to see Wii U turn into a console that had Nintendo first-party content, but also content hardcore older players could enjoy. So a lot of these you'll see are hardcore games. Assassin's Creed 3 and Black Flag. I didn't finish 3 because I just wasn't enjoying it. Black Flag had a lot more vastness to the world, more exploration. Assassin's Creed 3 just lacked a lot of verticality that the previous games had. Bayonetta 2, I didn't think I would like sort of action games, especially Japanese styled ones. But I went out on a limb because there weren't too many releases for the Wii U during that time, and I picked it up and I enjoyed it. Great graphics and a lot of collectibles. Call of Duty Black Ops 2, picked it up, didn't really get too far. I'd like to go back to it, but I was frustrated because I hadn't played a shooter in a long time when that game came out, so I didn't do too hot at it, but I'd like to practice and get back into playing some shooters. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, unique game, puzzle game. It gives you a bite-sized world that you're guiding Toad through the catches that he can't jump. So it's very particular about how you get through these 3D mazes. And I'll give you a quick example. This is a really simple one. So you start out in one corner and you have to get all the way through, get certain gems, and get to the end. I enjoyed it. I hope they take more risks like that, especially with a character that's not Mario. Take some risks with another character. Donkey Kong Country Focus, Tropical Freeze. Similar to Donkey Kong Country Returns, but upgraded graphics. These games I was never really good at, but I really enjoyed them on Super Nintendo. But getting back into them again, or trying to, was just really frustrating. I was having to use the free pass that a lot of the games have now to make them easier for a younger audience. You can sort of cheat and get through the level, and that wasn't fun to me. I wanted to play a game that I was challenging, but I was somewhat good at also. Hyrule Warriors, it's a good action game. A lot of collectibles. It's neat to see the world of Hyrule, even though it wasn't a mainstream Zelda game. Lego, loved City Undercover because it was sort of Grand Theft Auto for kids. It had like a wide open world that you could explore. So I had a lot of fun with that, lots of different vehicles. Lego Star Wars Force Awakened had a hub world, which was kind of neat to see, but a lot of flying sections, and I'm not very good at flying games. Mario Kart 8, enjoyed it a lot. Really good looking game, great online community. There was DLC, about 8 tracks that were released, but they were sort of short-lived. At least that game was kind of short-lived for me because I kind of fell out of love with the online component and didn't really have people in the house to play with. So Another hardcore game, Mass Effect 3. I played quite a bit of this game. The graphics were pretty good. Yes, it's a downgrade from the other consoles. But I was happy to see third-party support, and I wanted to support third parties and hardcore styling on the Wii U. Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. It was okay. I kind of bought it during a drought of Wii U games. Neat art style, like a clay aesthetic, but similar to Donkey Kong. It had the finish the level for me kind of button, and I don't know, it just went by really quick, and I wasn't that into it. I really don't like side scrollers. Maybe that's blasphemy, but I'm not into them. Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge was a launch game. Pretty good visuals, geared towards the mature audience. The story was really lacking, so I didn't get into it very deep. Nintendo Land, launch game on Wii U. A lot of good concepts, neat art styles. You know, it didn't graphically blow anybody away, but it had some neat textures and neat ideas. And it'd be neat to see some of these control styles and gaming concepts come through, because this is what the Wii U was made for. And a lot of that second screen stuff didn't really come through. It didn't continue on to the systems, which is a shame. Few developers took advantage of this screen the way this game did, the gamepad. Star Fox Zero and Guard packaged together. Zero, I think I talked about flying games, not that good at them. But I enjoyed the game. Didn't finish it. Star Fox Guard is really neat. It's like a tower defense game where you have cameras, and each camera has a gun attached to it. And these enemies are trying to get through your base, which is sort of a maze. So you need to figure out which camera they're on the TV screen, and click on that camera on the gamepad to see the enemies and defeat them. And so you're constantly moving from camera to camera. Star Fox Zero, flying game, good graphics. It's neat to see Star Fox return, but I don't like flying games. I just bought it because, I guess, nostalgia, and I had high hopes for some of the ground sections, ground-based. Splinter Cell Blacklist, good game. It's a port. Well, not really a port, but it's cross-platform. It was a hard game for me to get. I went to like 3 stores, ended up getting it at GameStop, and that was at the point where third parties were really hadn't been supporting the system, but I wanted to support third parties and mature games, so I went out of my way to 3 stores to find 1 copy. Watch Dogs, good game. A lot of you have probably played Watch Dogs 2 at this point. Graphics are downgraded from the other versions, of course, but again, I wanted to support third-party development and cross-platform games, because we don't see a lot of those. Xenoblade Chronicles X, I'm not a big Japanese-style fan, or I didn't think I was, but I really got into this game. There's a lot of depth, good graphics, a huge open world, larger than any other on a Wii U game or Wii game, so I think that was a great achievement, and it was exclusive to the Wii U. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I believe, is the one that's coming to Switch. Has more of a cartoony art style. I'm not as into it, but this one had a really nice real life art style. True to life, I guess. Photorealistic sort of stuff. Your Shape, not much to say. It's a fitness game, but a lot of the backgrounds are high fidelity and interesting. It's nice to have something pretty interesting to look at while you're working out. Zombie U is a launch game for the Wii U. I enjoyed it. I didn't finish it. There are some very challenging portions, but I really like what it did with the gamepad. Basically, the gamepad was your backpack, and when you had to reach down into your backpack to get a new item or a knife or something, you weren't looking at the TV screen, so you could easily get jumped by a zombie. So that made it really feel realistic. You know, if you have to look in your bag, you have to do it quickly and get back to the action. So really enjoyed this game. I did not finish it. It's another one I'd love to go back to someday. So that's my game collection. Got them in alphabetical order here. There are games I sold, and I can't even remember which ones they were, so I really don't regret it. And I'm sort of at a point where I don't know, do I want to sell these? Because the Switch is coming, and a lot of them are also coming to the Switch. And I don't really go back and replay games. It's nice to have a shelf full of games to look at, but I'm not that into the replayability because it's the same experience each time around. So that's it. That's my game collection. Thanks for sticking through to the end with me here, and tell me some of your favorite games. Did you enjoy the hardcore games that did come to the Wii U? That's about it. There's my Wii U deluxe version, 32 gig, black. I've got some extra storage in it. That was nice that it was expandable using a basic flash drive. This is 64 gigs. So I had 32 on the system plus 64, so I had 90 some gigs to work with. Very nice. The light in the corner means there's a disc in there. This closes here, so that kind of cleans up the look, the aesthetic of it. If you were thinking it's about the size of the Wii, it's much longer actually. And that's the length of the system right there. Otherwise, the other dimensions are about the same. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment. Tell me what you thought, and see you next time.